I think it's worth asking who actually benefits from you not believing anything that comes from CBC. Now, I will be the first to tell you, all media is curated and therefore subject to bias. No argument there. Every outlet makes choices on what to cover, what angle to take and what to leave out. That's just how information works. But I think a key difference here is recognizing bias is not the same as rejecting everything outright. When you decide, I can't trust any of this, you're stepping out of the information space entirely. And when you do that, it creates a vacuum, and the vacuum doesn't stay empty. That's where politics comes in. So there's a strategy that some politicians use, and it's been used all over the world, where they actively undermine trust in established institutions like media, universities, courts, anything else that might challenge them. And those politicians often undermine trust in those institutions by claiming that they are partisan or somehow lying to you. The reason those politicians do that is because if people stop trusting those institutions, they won't believe them when those institutions do things that might hold those politicians accountable. If people don't trust those sources, then there's only one place left to turn. It's just the politician themselves. So that shifts the question from, is this true, to do I trust this person? And that's really powerful. Now, this is a part of a political strategy called populism. Now, populism is a bit of a contested topic. It can mean different things in different contexts, and there's different types of populism. I am using that word to refer to politicians who obtain political power by using a rhetoric that pits the people against some sort of corrupt elite. Now, the populist politicians that you really want to look out for are, like I mentioned before, they will try to undermine trust in established institutions that are needed for democracy to function properly, like the media. And when that happens, democracies start to weaken, because democracy depends on shared facts, or at least the shared process of figuring out what's true. If everyone lives in separate realities, it becomes almost impossible to debate, to vote, or to hold leaders accountable in any meaningful way. The thing is healthy skepticism makes democracy stronger, but total distrust makes it fragile. So instead of asking, can I trust a source at all? I think it's better to ask, how do I evaluate this critically, compare it with other sources, and build a fuller picture. Staying informed isn't about blind trust, it's about critical thinking. We don't want to create a scenario where you will just reject everything that the media tell you outright, because it can create a scenario where you will blindly follow the politician. And that doesn't actually benefit you or anyone else, right? It just benefits the politician.